Hello and welcome to Sincerely Elvis Presley. I'm Sean. Thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Well, August the 1st, and it is arrived. The Sony Legacy box set that was announced just a couple of months ago, if that. Elvis Presley, Sunset Boulevard. So I've been eagerly awaiting for the Amazon delivery driver to arrive today. When I posted this earlier and said that I was hoping to do an unboxing, I did say that it was actually the postman, but I ordered this from Amazon because it was the cheapest I could find. And actually, with mainstream releases, they're usually not too bad at getting them to you on the delivery day. So here it is. Obviously, this will be an unboxing, so I won't really have a chance to comment too much on the contents because I won't have heard the CDs. However, because it's available today, it has been available to stream, so I have listened to it in its entirety. My initial thoughts, they haven't really changed from when it was announced. I don't really get the rehearsal stuff on it. I just the tenuous link to they're all at the studios in Los Angeles, fair enough, but it just doesn't seem to hang together. I think the 72 material, the studio material, the 7 tracks from there, and the fantastic material from the Today album all hang together really well, actually. And I will say, from what I've heard, Mr. Matt Ross Spang has done a pretty decent job of remixing those or remastering those or whatever you like to call it. They, they're the masters. There's no attempt at this stripped down sound that they went for on the Memphis box set. And I'm really, really pleased to say that there are no hideous clunkers like we heard on the Memphis box set, especially, the sacrilege that was messing up some of the American sound cuts. Suspicious Minds, Don't Cry Daddy. I'm pleased to be able to report from what I've heard, that there are no disasters on this, which, let's face it, we've had enough disasters recently with the Elvis Evolution thing, haven't we? Least said the better, I think. So, I think we're all well and good. And there's a caveat to that, because I think I heard mentioned last time that the version that was put out for streaming was slightly different to the commercial release on physical disc. So I really hope what I've heard on streaming is what we're going to get here on the disc. And actually, when I put that post up earlier today, a few comments have already said that people's have arrived, they'd started to listen to it, and it was good. So I was pleased what I heard. As I say, the rehearsal material, did we need that? I know they like a nice multi-disc box set, but surely just filling it up with more outtakes, or do they think that the general public, because obviously being a Sony Legacy set, this is widely available, do they think they won't go for hearing multiple takes, of the same songs? So they want to kind of give something different there. But I'd say, by and large, the rehearsals are kind of for the real Elvis fans. I'm not sure your general public pretty much buys into those. Maybe I'm wrong. But my observations really on hearing it sounded really nice and really crisp. I'm talking about the studio material here. Pieces of My Life, that has always been one of my favourites from the Today sessions, and one of my favourite Elvis tracks, full stop. In that mix, the drums always had a real sort of heft to them, and he seems to have dialed that back a bit, and it's kind of lost that sound that I expected. Maybe he's given it more of a sort of gentle approach to the, bearing in mind the subject material of the song, and maybe thought that it, wanted a more subtle approach. But so, that's not a big criticism. The only thing I don't really understand is that Fairy Tale on the original, what's supposed to be the original masters, isn't the original master. It's an alternate take. I don't know what alternate take it is, because I can't really tell from just listening to it. But it's not the master. Don't know why they've done that. I think they did that on other sets as well. Slotted a different take in. But if you call it, you know, they're the masters. So what are you doing that for? There's nothing wrong with the fairy tale master. So that was a bit odd. Burning Love Take 2. Now, this might be a bit controversial because I know this was released prior, you know, some time ago. That was dropped on streaming. Great take of it. I love the wah wah guitar, but personally, JD Sumner going Burning Love at the end after every time Elvis sings it, I don't like that. I'm sorry if that's controversial, but it really puts me off. It grates on me. So unfortunately, I think that ruins what is a good take. But just my opinion, as ever. Right, let's get into this and let's have a look at this set, shall we, that we've been looking forward to. Here we go. As usual, have we got any? No, we don't seem to have any creasing, which is nice. So there we go. Elvis Presley, Sunset Boulevard. Elvis's 1972-1975 recordings are RCA's legendary Sunset Boulevard studios. I'm not sure. Are they legendary? Maybe. Featuring all the masters and many outtakes. As I said, I don't think Fairy Tale's the master. Let me know in the comments what you think if you've already heard it. Newly mixed without overdubs by Grammy Award-winning producer Matt Ross Spang. That's interesting because listening to them, I didn't really... I mean, if he has removed overdubs, then it's very, very... The overdubs must have been very subtle to start with because I don't really hear a great amount of difference. Now, unless my ancient old ears are missing something. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the listening experience. It sounded, I was hearing a few bits of instruments and things coming through that I haven't heard before, but it didn't sound as if, you know, like maybe the overdubs are really subtle. Includes Burning Love, Always on My Mind, Separate Ways, TROUBLE, and many more. 3 bonus discs featuring 1970-74 rehearsals offering a unique fly-on-the-wall glimpse of his concert preparations. I mean, fair enough, but as I say, it's not personally the way I'd have gone. But it is what it is. Now, I think that's a great cover. And many have said when they sort of released it, you know, in the pre-advertising blurb, what a great cover it is. The only issue I have with it feels a bit lazy to me because it looks to me like all they've done is taken the template that they still had around from this release, put different, you know, it still says Elvis Presley, shove Sunset Boulevard in where Burning Love was, change the colour of the font and put a different photograph on it. That, I think that's quite lazy. It is a good cover, but I think it's a bit lazy. Let me know what you think in the comments, as ever. Right, there we go. There's going to be tons of glare because we're still in our shrink, but there's your rear. And there is your content, which I'm sure most people are already aware of. So let's get into this. I need to try and preserve the hype sticker because I'm one of those people, like many of us, that has to then do my best to prise it off the shrink afterwards without creasing it, and then get it back onto the box itself somehow. Because of course you've got to have your hype sticker. What you know, you've got to... It's a funny old world, isn't it? Right, let's have a look. Let's do that. Get that off there. Okay, so there you go. You can see the back cover a lot better without the shrink on it now. There's your spine. There you go. I think I paid £32, something, £32.91 or something odd like that. But I thought that was a pretty good price. So far so good. There's your box. Nice little booklet. They seem to have gone down this route of overusing digital enhancement. So Elvis ends up looking a bit like a waxwork. I'm not overly fond of that, I have to say. Okay, so what have we got? I guess these are the rehearsals. They are indeed. So we start with the first folder. And this should give us our alleged masters, but as I say, I don't think one of them is a master. And then sort of going with this theme that they run with on a lot of the FTD sets, and sort of seeing your tape boxes, and you've just got your RCA orange disc label for the actual CDs themselves. So yeah, nicely put together. See, that's not over enhanced. That's got some grain to it. So he looks like the Elvis we know and love, not a waxwork version of him. As with this one, now because this is the rehearsals, you've got Elvis in 70, absolute great, like that a lot. And on the back, still wearing that same shirt. This panel and left panel outside RCA Studio C, Hollywood, July the 30th, 1970. Front cover outside the gates of his home, 1174 Hillcrest, Beverly Hills, July the 30th, 1970. Front cover? Oh, okay. Front cover. Oh, that must be that. That's what it means, but I forgot you. Front cover. Took me a while to get there, didn't it? Right, there we go. That's the two photographs they're talking about. So that's outside the studio, and that's outside Hillcrest. And then our 3 discs continue that theme with the tape boxes and the orange CDs. Great stuff. So that's nice, nicely put together. So this, that's nice, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. But I don't like that. That looks like a waxwork. This sort of digital enhancement's going a bit too far, I think. It has its place. I mean, I use it a lot when I'm doing thumbnails and designs and various bits and pieces. But if you let it take over and let it overdo it, it ends up with something looking not quite human and not quite real. I think there's been a bit of it there, but you can still see a bit of the grain. No, that actually, no. Now, I'll tell you for why. You can see, oh, I don't know. It looks to me like AI's got a bit carried away with the shades, because they're too over. They've kind of taken a teardrop effect, and those ones didn't have a teardrop effect. And that's the kind of thing it can do. It makes decisions that are not always the right decisions. Sorry, I'm waffling. I digress. But yeah, yeah, I just worry that's the way we're going, and we're going to see these things that look nothing like the real thing. So that's grainy, but that's great. What a great photograph. Elvis listening to the gospel, if I remember rightly. Usual quality booklet I'm seeing here. You know, really good stuff. They definitely they know what they're doing with design when it comes to these booklets, don't they? You know, every time we get one of these, or we get an FTD booklet, they're so well put together. Just beautiful. So yeah, you know, less than £33, 5 CDs. Now, you know, my quibbles for the stuff they've put on it compared to what they haven't put on it aside, they all sounded fantastic to me. So 5 CDs, packed with great material, beautiful presentation, and a beautiful booklet. About 33 quid, or, you know, that's the Amazon price, but, you know, even if you're paying sort of 36, 37, I'd say a fantastic set. I'm really impressed. It's a lot better than, you know, my thoughts on Memphis when I received that. I didn't get to do an unboxing on that at the time, but, you know, the disaster that was some of those American sound cuts, and what had been done to them, and also, you know, some of the attempts at so-called stripping back the overdubs. It's just not always as successful as it could be. So I'm pleased to say that, to my ears, this doesn't sound overdone. it's tastefully done, but it still sounds really nice. It still sounds really clear. It still sounds really crisp. The material is fantastic. All the material's fantastic. You know, even if, in my view, some of it, you know, the way it's been put together is a bit questionable. Some of the things that have been put in, still great stuff. And as has been said, you know, if you haven't been lucky enough to get the FTD, That's the Way It Is 50th anniversary set that's got those 70 rehearsals on, then you're going to be getting this at a really, really affordable price and in a nice little package. So I've got to give them thumbs up. I think, you know, caveat that, I think the cover design feels a little bit lazy. I like it, but it feels a little bit as if they're not really, feels a little bit like they're coasting and not really wanting to push the boundaries a bit. But and that goes for the content as well. But other than that, you know, it's churlish to complain. It's a brilliant set. It's another new box set to add to the collection. It's affordable for most people. You know, it's not ridiculous hundreds of pounds. Will it set the general public alight that aren't really, you know, that aren't really familiar with Elvis? Will they go out there and lap it up? I'm not sure. I mean, I'd hope that was the case, and I'd hope Elvis Evolution hasn't kind of put some of that back a little bit. But of course, we've got the Baz Luhrmann coming up, hopefully in the near future, that will generate more interest in Elvis to the general public at large. So it's a great time to be an Elvis fan. I've got no complaints about this whatsoever. Please do let me know in the comments. Have you got it coming? Have you received yours? Have you heard it? What do you think of the running order? Do you like some of this AI overdone imagery? Just let me know in the comments what you think. I'm chuffed to bits to get it. I'm so pleased. I'm now going to be able to listen to the physical disc, and hopefully they'll sound as good, if not better, than streaming did. But absolutely brilliant. Mainstream release. Value for money. Nicely put together. Some great material. Can't go wrong, really, can you? So thank you very much for watching. As ever, I appreciate it hugely. Whatever you're doing over the weekend, have a great one. I hope you're able to join me for my upload on Sunday. But until then, take care.